this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, today's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Sunday the 5th of September. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks. Positive start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 49,948 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 54.95. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Bitcoin to break through the 23.6% fib at 54.73. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 55.44 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin target 52,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 51.091. A fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 49,352 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 48,000 levels. Second major support level at 48,805 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, got a narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, so should be seeing a possible bullish cross there, so keep an eye out on that. On the MAs, 50s holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, a slight widening of the gap, so that's supporting this early upside. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 49,948 and break through that 23.6% fib at 54.73 to bring 52,000 levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels could come into play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, also a positive start. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fallback through the pivot at 3897 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 3960. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ethereum to break out from 3950s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 3970 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum target 4100 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 4033. A fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 3825 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 3700 levels. Second major support level at 3762 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, seeing a narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, so look out for a possible bullish cross to support a breakout. On the MAs, 50s holding its ground against the 100 and the 200 after a slight narrowing, so look out for direction there through the morning. Key will be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 3897 and move back to 3950 levels to bring 4100 levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels will come into play. Moving across to Litecoin against US dollar on the move again. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid the pivot, fallback through the pivot at 215 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 222 and 38.2% fib at 223. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Litecoin to break back through to 220s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and 38.2% fib to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin target 235 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 232. Fall back through the pivot will bring the first major support level 205 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid sub 200s. Second major support level sits at 199. Looking at the MACD's, narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, but no immediate signs of a bullish cross, so look out for a further narrowing there. On the MAs, that's a bullish signal, 50 pulling away from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further upside ahead. So key would be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 215, break back through to 220s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels will come into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, tracking the broader market. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through the pivot at 1.2635 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 1.2895. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 1.28. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 1.29644 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP target the second major resistance level at 1.3225 before any pullback. Fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 1.2306 into play. barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of sub 1.2s. Second major support level at 1.2046 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, marks a narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day. Look out for a possible bullish cross there. On the EMAs, 50 has flattened on the 100 and the 200 after a narrowing, so need to keep an eye out for that, some direction there. Going to need to see the 50 widen on the 100 to support further upside through the morning. So key would be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 1.2635 and move back through to 1.28 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels will come into play.